Hello, everyone. Okay, so Waterloo Road Series 2, Episode 1. So crazy to think that we're here. Feels like it was just a week ago that we were in Waterloo Road Series 1, but here we are. Before getting any further, I just want to say that my allergies and hay fever are quite bad today, so if you're living in the UK, then I'm sure that you're aware that the past week has just been an absolute scorcher of a heat wave. Like if you're in Spain or the US or a lot of Southern or like Latin America, like this is probably the norm. But for us British people, it's like we're toast. We can't hack it. I can't hack it. And because it's May, June time and I'm allergic to grass pollen, it's like everything is just going up in flames for me. So that's fun. So Series 2, Episode 1. So we saw at the end of Series 1 that, Lorna attempted to commit suicide. Sort of went in the water and some times past, it's been, I don't know, the summer holiday. It's a new school year. Let's say Jack and Izzy. That would have been interesting. Probably more interesting than the plot we got, to be honest. Tom and Izzy are happily living together. They've got the girls with them. And, life is just all good for them. And Tom's saying, he's jealous. Lorna's probably sunning it up on a beach somewhere, just enjoying her best life. Whereas they're here and just, school's going back. The girls are getting ready to go back. Just life is returning to normal. And then Tom and Izzy arrive at the school and they find that Lorna is there. She's got her old job back and stuff. She said that two gay guys saved her from the water, which is fair enough. Probably a nice couple. But yeah, sounds good. So that's where we're at with things. Again, this is the issue. I know last episode and throughout the entirety of Series 1, I was saying how I really, really don't like this sort of pairing. Or not even this pairing. I don't like this love triangle, this plot between Tom, Izzy, and Lorna. I find the whole thing quite drawn out, quite cringy. And I just want to get to the end of it. Like, as much as I like Series 2, and I do prefer Series 2 to Series 1, there's a bit coming which always makes me cringe and I always struggle to watch. It's like the peep show moment of the whole show, and I can't. Every time it cuts through me like glass. I think it's just getting worse with age, and it's coming up in a few episodes' time. It's where that kid who's played by actress Holiday Granger, who is in the Strike series as Robin. She's done Merlin and a load of other stuff as well. She's one of the students at the school, and she's got a huge crush on Tom. And she sneaks into his bed, and then Izzy kicks Tom out, and the whole thing's just weird. Tom gets investigated. I hate that plot because Tom's not that guy. We know Tom's not that guy. Everyone knows Tom's not that guy, and it feels like an unnecessary roadblock in a plot that I already dislike. So just as a little heads up, I think I'm absolutely going to slate that scene in that episode when we get to it. So yeah, I don't like this whole thing. Personally, I think the better route would have been if Lorna just wasn't in the series whatsoever, and we just see Tom struggle and Izzy struggle with trying to figure out the new dynamic, or maybe there could be some plot involving one of the girls and they're struggling to deal with Tom, or maybe Jimmy tries to come back into the picture, wants to rebuild his family, but Izzy's not having it and he takes it out on Tom, or I don't know. I just feel like there's more avenues to explore than just having Lorna back. And I don't like Lorna this series. Like I said, last series, you sort of feel for her because she's sort of lost everything. She's lost her new husband. She lost the baby. She feels like everyone's lying to her. You can feel compassion and understand. But now it's just weird. She becomes manipulative. She becomes controlling. I know there's the argument to be made that Tom and Izzy kind of created this version of her, but from what Tom said, it's always sort of been there, and I can kind of believe that take. And then the whole romance of Andrew's cringy. We all know Andrew and Kim are the GOAT, so why why I tried to do this little plot point. Like, could they not have just introduced a side male character for a couple of episodes? Or had the likes of, there be like another Mr. Todd or Grantley who's just sort of in the background who Lorna takes an interest in for a bit, and then once that plot loses relevancy, it just fades into the background, or I don't know, Andrew and Lorna is just weird. Like, I get where the closeness comes from, like Grantley's walked, basically, so they need a head of English, so Andrew's like, oh, Lorna, I really wanted you to step up, and that's where the sort of romance and stuff kind of blossoms and goes from there. But yeah, I don't know, I don't particularly like it. So again, point that I think's interesting, and again, I brought it up last series, and I will raise it again because for me it is kind of a fascinating point. It's the whole Grantley situation, and what I mean by that is that, like, Grantley isn't a main character. He's not part of the opening credits. He's like sort of not it yet. Although I did find some images for the series and stuff when I've been working on content and videos, and one of the big promotional pictures has got the staff and like Grantley's in it. So I don't know, I think Grantley should have been in the opening credits from here, but he's not. Oh, speaking of opening credits, this we've got the iconic Waterloo Road theme song. It's there, it's happened, we've got it. The most iconic theme song in British television, apart from maybe Doctor Who, and it is, or maybe EastEnders actually, I don't know, it's an iconic one. It's there, we know it, we love it, and bam, this is it for the rest of the show. Even the modern show's got the like remixed version. I still prefer the original, and I do miss the opening credits. I created my own opening credits for Series 1 to 13, Series 14, and Series 15 to 17 on my main Ola's New channel. I know I talked about doing it a few episodes ago, but I actually sat down and did it, and not to toot my own trumpet, because I like to think that I'm not a particularly arrogant or cocky person, but I think they turned out really good. Like, I'm really, really proud of that little project. And it's what I envisioned it would be. I mean, I did take some creative liberties. Opposed to doing 7 different versions, I just sort of did it era by era. Series 14 looks the most accurate because it's just the Series 14 cast, but like 15 to 17 is way too overstuffed. Like, objectively, I probably could have done a Series 15/16 one and a Series 17 one. And maybe down the line I will do some variants and do series by series. But yeah, that was cool. I love that. So back to Grantley. So the school has got a new benefactor because it needs cash, and Jack is absolutely kissing his ass, and the whole thing is cringy. Roger Aspinall, who's kind of a villain this series. Not in the same way like, say, Lewis Seddon is, or Darius Donovan, but he's certainly not a good bloke. He has overtaken Waterloo Road. It's his way or the highway. So back when he was in school, he was dyslexic. He struggled, understandable. And Grantley belittled, bullied, and gave him a hard time. Now, I'm not saying Grantley's right, because in absolutely no way, shape, or form is Grantley right in this scenario. But I would make the argument of, like, this is meant to be 2006, 2007. Let's say, for argument's sake, Roger Aspinall is probably in his 40s. Let's say it was 25 to 30 years ago, so the 80s. I could imagine... I'm not trying to normalize it because I know it's not okay, but I think that the kind of teacher Grantley is, the kind of era he grew up in, I don't think he would see it as anything wrong. I think that, like, it's just sort of part of it, like students with special needs or sort of mental health problems and stuff. It wasn't as much of an impacting factor as it is today. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't think that the school system particularly looked at it the same way that they do now. So there wouldn't be support in place. There wouldn't be like a larger teacher understanding and compassion. and sort of like that. But again, so I said this in my big Grantley video that I did a few weeks ago. Despite how awful Grantley seems at the moment and will for the next few series is, we do see like character development, like the Grantley that we get in series. Sorry, words are failing me. Then the Grantley that we get in series 9 wouldn't have been the same as the Grantley that we've got now. Yes, he probably still would have been a bit defensive, but I think that he would have understood Roger's point of view more. I mean, Maggie probably would have been there as a guiding hand, but I think that the Grantley that we've got now is a much different man to the Grantley that we get in the end. So I get for plot convenience and stuff, Grantley going to the Union, Grantley kicking up a fuss against Roger Aspinall, against Andrew Treneman, they're all the enemy, like it makes sense. And it is Grantley fundamentally is the right teacher to do this plot with. I even like that one scene where Tom's gone for a drink and Grantley rocks up with his like Union guy, and the Union guy's like, oh, from what I've heard, it seems like all of you've got a good grounds for like change or whatever. And I love that scene, that Tom, Grantley and Union guy scene. It's just Waterloo Road at its best, and it's just so much fun. So yeah, Grantley butting heads with Roger Aspinall. And then we see the likes of Brett, his son, gets introduced. Brett's a little know-it-all. He causes problems, this, that, and the other. Jack doesn't warm to him. I get the whole plot is that he's struggling about his mum. So there's that. But it's just, this is where Brett comes into it. And I forgot how much of a brat he is at the beginning, but it works well. The way that he talks to the teachers and stuff is amusing. I don't think him and Jack will see eye to eye. And then it feeds into the whole Mika plot. So this episode also introduces Leanne, who's like a villain for a couple of episodes. She is like objectively the worst, and she takes a picture of Mika basically topless or in a bra, I don't know, and threatens to blackmail her with it for the next couple of episodes. It's absolutely horrendous, but it's acted and done so well. And even in this moment, Brett knows, oh, Leanne's taken it too far, this is wrong, and it's just going to snowball from here. What I think is quite interesting about Series 2, and this was actually a note that I made on my phone, it's that, because it's the only series in the whole show that's 12 episodes, its structure is kind of weird. So it's like, it kind of feels like a lot of little mini storylines and mini arcs that kind of interweave and stuff across the whole series. So you've got like Mika's bully plot point that's like 3 or 4 episodes. You've got all the Roger Aspinall stuff, which is maybe half the series. You've got the American religious benefactor who comes into it. You've got the whole Tom, Izzy, Lorna love triangle, which concludes here. You've got Kim and Andrew. You've got that Maxine plot point, her becoming homeless, and that guy who's attacking school kids and stuff. Like it all works. So yeah, that's kind of the series on the whole. I quite liked Jack's reaction when Grantley rocked up after being at the pub. He's like, Jesus, Grantley, I can smell it on you, and like makes him like take some mints and try to freshen up and stuff. What else did I write on my phone? I think I've more or less covered most of it now. I did think that the interactions between Andrew and Roger are quite good. It made me laugh, like him writing all of the reasons that Grantley should be fired, and then the actual confrontation between Grantley and Roger is one of my favourite lines of dialogue from the whole show. It's when like Grantley goes up to him and Andrew's like, oh, I wouldn't expect much from a lazy drunk. And like it just, for Grantley, this part or this series, this time on the show, it just fits like a gold ring. It's just perfect. And then this leads on to quite possibly the best cliffhanger of the whole show, or one of the best cliffhangers. Yeah, whole show might be a bit of an exaggeration. One of the best so far. And that's that Roger doesn't believe that Jack's capable of running the school and asks Andrew to step up, and him and Jack basically swap places. I love Jack's reaction to this, and it's so understandable. I'd be in the exact same position where he's a bit drunk and he's like to Andrew, "You can't take my bloody job." And Andrew tries to compartmentalize it as what's best for the school. Kim taking Jack's side's great. Her reiterating what Grantley said last series, that he's an alien, it fits. And yeah, next episode's kind of a fun one because we see what it would be like for Andrew in the driving seat. Yeah, I didn't mind this one as an introduction. I think it's quite messy, but again, it was doing a lot of the setup for the series. It was introducing new characters. Fundamentally, it was going to be a bit rocky and a bit all over the place, but I think that's absolutely fine. It also introduced Miss Shackleton. "You have insulted my culture." Basically, there's that guy, I think it's in series 3 or 4, that guy who comes from New Zealand, who's like a terrible teacher, and Miss Shackleton starts like shadowing him, and he gets super defensive about New Zealand all the time. My friend Luke can do like the best impression, but he's always like, "Miss Shackleton, you have insulted my culture." Sorry, that was probably an absolute bombshell, but he'll just randomly do it. If we're out at the pub having a drink, he'll randomly just quote it. And that episode is like one of the worst episodes of the whole show, but it's like one of my favorites at the same time. And then whenever I see Davina, that's all I can think about. So Jack needs a new secretary because Estelle vanished. Don't worry, she will pop up again in Series 10 under a new name. Maybe it's witness protection, maybe not, who knows, but we'll get to that later on in the series. So Davina becomes the new Seki, and she's just so good. Jack is very happy to have her on board, and who knows, maybe it might even lead to some romantic stuff between them, or between Brett, but we'll get to that. So that's the opening to Series 2. I enjoyed it. What did you guys think of this opening episode? I want to get some more sort of interaction. I want to get a bit more traction going. So please leave comments on all of these videos or podcasts, whatever my mind's going a marathon at the moment. I did mention before there was going to be a special. I was quite sick, so I couldn't actually record it. There will be something coming soon. What I might try to do, and because I haven't had much time because of the heat wave and I was away last week on a stag do, it was my best friend's getting married. I did have an idea for a special that I could do myself, which I will probably upload on a Friday in a few weeks' time. Something I've wanted to do for a while, and something that I think is better as a podcast episode than a video. So that's just, I might rank all of the series, so that'll probably be the first special. I need to figure out what I'm doing about the other special. It's all about timing and stuff. I just don't have a lot of time. So that's slightly annoying, but it was on me, so nobody's to blame apart from me, so I apologize for that. But yeah, seriously, guys, and I want to make this podcast as good as I can. I'm trying to encourage as much sort of fan interaction. Part of the reason I'm doing this podcast is that I just want to build the discussion. I don't think YouTube and Spotify and stuff has got enough Waterloo Road content, and I'm really just trying to sort of build a sense of community. I want fans to be able to discuss opinions and stuff, and I'm just trying to get a bit more of a voice going. So any thoughts you have, you like the episode, you don't like the episode, not just for this one in a general sense. Every few episodes I'll try and push this and just remind you guys, but I want to read it. I want to know what you all think. So please, I encourage it. Never feel awkward or anything. Just get your thoughts down. This has been Waterloo Road Rewind, and I'll see you on the next one.